Hi guys, welcome back to Ash Talks Basketball, and today we're doing the most disappointing teams so far this season. It's been a great season to start, but there has been a few teams that have been lackluster and I've just expected more from them. So I'll be going over the 5 teams that I think have been the most disappointing so far this season. The next team is the Golden State Warriors, and they have struggled to start the season. The big question to start the year was, would Chris Paul work well with Steph Curry? And it has worked relatively well, but they just don't have enough offensive production. CP3 works well on teams where they have good players around him to score the ball and he'll find them, but other than Curry, there was nobody else that is putting up enough numbers. Klay Thompson is having one of his worst statistical seasons ever. Andrew Wiggins just can't find his groove. And it's hard for Curry to work off the ball when not many players on his team are much of a threat, and that's why they're below 500 right now. The next team is the Memphis Grizzlies. I know most people thought they weren't going to be great to start this season, but not many people thought they were going to fall this far. They've only won 3 games, they're struggling offensively and defensively to stop good teams, and they need to get some wins because Ja Morant being out for 25 games is big, and even when he comes back, he's not going to be as good as he is. He's not going to be in form for another 10 games. And they just can't afford this as a team with playoff aspirations. They're missing Steven Adams as the big man, who was great for them last season and fundamental to their defense. I don't think this team makes the playoffs. I think they might make the play-in, but they're going to struggle to win games because they just don't have their whole team they did last year. And we've seen so far that this team cannot function. And would Ja Morant coming back affect that much that they could make a big leap to a playoff team? From right now, they are one of the worst teams in the league. Jumping from there to playoffs is hard, and I don't think Ja Morant's that type of player that he'll be able to make that big of a change. The next team is the Clippers, and they have looked lackluster to start the season. They're below 500, although they have looked good in the last 3 games. I don't think that will last. They have a great big 3 of a lot of talent on paper, but I don't think this team is a team that can compete for the West. In playoff time, Kawhi is questionable always with injury, so is PG. I don't think they can hold their own against teams like Denver and Phoenix. They have the talent to be good, but the thing is, can they be good in the regular season and in the playoffs with consistency and overall teamwork, which I think they will struggle with and have shown in the last 10 games that they have struggled to work together. The next team is the Pistons, and I just don't have much to talk about. This team is god-awful. I know people thought they were going to be bad, but this seems like one of the worst teams we've seen in a while. Jaden Ivey struggling to hold a starting spot or even a spot in a rotation after being a top 5 pick. Cade Cunningham struggling to take a leap. Jalen Duren has been good, but that's all they have to show for this season. And I just feel bad for Pistons fans. If you have a Pistons membership right now, you're watching them lose by 20 again and again, and there just doesn't seem like there's an end. You couldn't sell a Pistons membership for large fries at McDonald's. This team is not good. I know they're not supposed to be good, but you have to have a sense of pride right now. And 2-16 is not that, especially as a professional basketball team. The next team I have is the Chicago Bulls, and they have looked terrible to start the season. They've been struggling immensely, and they just seem like they're holding on to DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine too much. They're going to have to start a rebuild sooner or later, and I think that's going to come this trade deadline. They're going to get some picks and some younger players to start the rebuild finally after a few years of just being extremely mediocre, and I would love to see them finally press the rebuild button and start it all over, because I'm pretty sure every single Bulls fan is pretty sick of being extremely mediocre in the last few years. And that's all I have for you today. So thank you for watching the video. Check out my most surprising teams in the description down below, and have a nice day.